Hi everybody, my name is Nneka Edwards. In this video, I would like to share 10 YouTube channels that I recommend you check out if any of the benefits that they have to offer speak to you. And as we head into 2025, and as you figure out how you'd like to plan your way forward, you may find that some of these YouTube channels are useful. By the way, many of these channels are weighted towards Christian content. If you are so inclined, I think you're going to find this list very useful. If you're not, you may still find it useful, and I would encourage you to still listen. I'll try to keep the video pretty short. Number one, Mavis, I cannot pronounce the rest of her name. She's from Malawi, but she has a wonderful series on the book of Proverbs. That's a deep dive into the book of Proverbs on her YouTube channel, which is in her name. And I definitely recommend this. I have found it absolutely insightful, brilliant, practical, and very much focused on success in life. And I think it's weighted towards success in business. So I think you're going to find it useful and interesting. Number two, Myron Golden. I particularly recommend his videos on King Solomon's business model, but he has a lot of great videos on entrepreneurship. Right now, he has two YouTube channels, as far as I know, one on Bible specific stuff and one that's more specific to entrepreneurship. I definitely recommend Myron Golden's content. Number three, Valuetainment. Pat Bet David is the person behind Valuetainment, along with his team of content producers, and of course, same with Myron Golden and anybody else, and a lot of people here. But anyway, Valuetainment has a combination of maybe political themed podcast, but it also has entrepreneurship specific topics. And those are the ones that I tend to focus on. And in particular, I would like to direct you to Pat Bet David's videos on writing business plans. He makes it simple, easy, practical, and I think you would find it very useful. And he has a lot of other great content on entrepreneurship in general. Pat Bet David is, by his own confession, a Christian, but he does let fly a couple expletives here and there. So I don't know, but if you can put up with that, then you can check him out. Number four, Pastor Alan Nolan of Cornerstone Fellowship. He has some great content on biblical truth, Bible philosophy, and having been a Bible scholar himself, having gone to Bible school, he provides really very professionally informed insight into what he teaches. And in particular, he has a series on the human heart, which I would recommend. And he has a series on the book of Revelation, a deep dive into the book of Revelation, about 60 something videos, 61 videos, if I'm not mistaken. He has a series on forgiveness. If you struggle with forgiveness, I definitely recommend that you check it out because forgiveness does nothing but hold us back. And number four, he has a series on wisdom, I do believe. Who would say no to wisdom? I believe he has a series on parenting. And of course, we know that if you're at work worrying about your children and how they're doing, what kind of work are you going to produce? What kind of job experience are you going to have? What kind of office life are you going to enjoy if you're nibbling your nails about your kids, right? So that parenting series I definitely recommend because if you know that your children are okay, not only physically, but also in other regards, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, in every regard, I think you would be a happier person at work on the job. And so, yes, I recommend Pastor Alan Nolan of Cornerstone Fellowship. Number five, Juan Carlos Arrigan. So if you speak Spanish, yeah, this is a multilingual list, by the way. If you speak Spanish, I recommend Pastor Juan Carlos Arrigan, especially his Comenzando tu Día con Dios. That's beginning your day with God. If you don't have enough time to look at a full video that's about an hour long, 50 minutes long of one of his messages, you might like Comenzando tu Día con Dios because it's usually not longer than 10 minutes, sometimes as short as 7 minutes, 6 minutes, where he provides these little nuggets of wisdom and sharing his experience and so on, sharing from his daily Bible studies in a lot of cases, or pulling from some of his messages, from his Sunday messages. I think that you would enjoy Juan Carlos Arrigan. He has a lot of personality. Actually, Pastor Alan Nolan, come to think about it, and going back to him, he has a lot of personality. He's very entertaining, but beyond entertaining, he's very profound. And so is Juan Carlos Arrigan. So I think you would like both of these people, both pastors. Number 6, Freddy de Anda. I really like Freddy de Anda. If you speak Spanish, you can check him out. By the way, if you don't speak Spanish, on his website, you can find a lot of his content in English and Spanish. There's an English side to his website and a Spanish side. Freddy de Anda is a pastor, but he's kind of unique and different in that his ministry focuses on building or repairing, restoring broken marriages. So I've learned a lot. I'm a single woman, but I've learned a lot about marriage from Freddie De Anders. So much so that I feel like, if I ever get married, there's not going to be a whole lot of guesswork for me. I would go into a future marriage, a future potential marriage, with a lot of information tucked away in my heart that I could apply in very practical ways that would help me to build a better marriage, that would give me more chances, that would give me a higher chance of having a successful and happy marital life. Yep, that's my next door neighbor dog um, barking at a lady passing in the street, playing like he's a big bad dog or something, when really that lady, she could probably kick this little dog. Anyway, I don't want to say that. I'm not endorsing cruelty to animals, but that lady could properly deal with this dog. But the dog playing big and bad. Anyway, a typical Caribbean dog. Anyway, next person on the list would be Dave Ramsey. I don't know if that's the name of his channel. I think it is Dave Ramsey. If it's not, I'm going to put the correct title in the video. But Dave Ramsey is an entrepreneur, a Christian entrepreneur, just like Myron Golden, maybe like Pat Bet David. I'm not sure about Pat Bet David, but I don't know. Like I said, he said he's a Christian, but I don't know. I don't see how a Christian can be using expletives. But anyway, Dave Ramsey is an entrepreneur and he gives great financial literacy advice. I recommend him. Connected to Dave Ramsey to some extent is the John Deloney Show, which is a show where people call in, I think online or in some way, to get advice on the spot about how to deal with really tricky, usually very tricky relationship challenges. So I definitely recommend the John Deloney Show. It's not heavily Christian or anything, but you can tell that John is probably on the faith-based side of things, but that's not very overt in his interactions with people. So the John Deloney Show, number 8. Number 7 was Dave Ramsey. Number 6 was Freddie De Anda. And number 9 is Chris Reese. I believe that's the name of the channel. If I'm wrong, I'll put the correct thing. But she has a channel that teaches people how to deal with narcissists from a biblical perspective. It provides a spiritual angle from which you can view and navigate the minefield of dealing with narcissists. So I definitely recommend Chris Reese. And finally, number 10, if you can speak French, I recommend Yanis Gauthier, and particularly the videos, his regular videos, his reels and so on, they're fine. But I especially recommend the videos that he does under EMCI. I think that's it, EMCI. I believe they're based in Quebec, but Yanis is from France and he has a beautiful Parisian accent. And he focuses on general Christian topics. But what I love about him is not only his insight and the fact that when he speaks, you feel as if you get a deposit of faith inside of your soul, but also because, okay, the dog is barking again. Okay, I'm okay. Well, thank you for ignoring the dog. But what I love about Yanis Gauthier is that he speaks such beautiful, eloquent French that I believe it's going to help me with my English and also with my French. So that's it. Okay, so this man is minding his business, going his way. Why the dog can't mind his business? You know what it is? Dogs have nothing to do, you know. That's it. They have nothing to do. They're so happy when they see a person passing by so they can bark and make a lot of noise and make it look like they're doing something. You know, like how you feel when the boss in your office suddenly turns up unexpected and you were probably, I don't know, daydreaming or talking talking with a coworker about nothing that have to do with work, and all of a sudden the boss appears and you get real busy. That's what this dog is reminding me of. Anyway, that's my list of 10 people. I hope that you find it useful. You know, I would love to get your feedback. And yeah, that's it. Do enjoy and all the best for 2025. Over and out for now.